Yo, we back with another episode of Great Conversations and Guests, man. It's your boy Turbo. I'm back with another one, man. I was right and I was wrong. It was a crazy weekend. We finna dive into everything, though, man. From NFL, college football to the WNBA, man. We finna get into everything, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on this video, man. And we're gonna get right to it. Also make sure y'all comment on this too, cause I wanna know what everybody else think. But Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles yesterday in the game versus Cincinnati. It was I don't know if y'all seen the replay, but if y'all seen the replay, y'all seen this shit snap. That shit was kind of crazy to see. But man, one thing I want to say is I feel like the fans kind of bogus that they was kind of chanting. They was chanting he deserved it, and that's one thing you don't do. You don't supposed to wish no injury on no player, cause that's something that's real tough, and that's something people don't. It's hard for them to recover from. So I feel like the Browns fans shouldn't really did that. I feel like that's, even though he ain't had the best season or wasn't putting up the stats people probably would have thought, but you don't supposed to be chanting nobody deserve to get injured. That ain't cool. You feel me? Even though they still end up losing the game, but I feel like that kind of took away from the game when the fans started chanting when he got hurt. That shit ain't cool though. But shout out to Cincinnati though. Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, them, they got the job done. Jamar Chase had a big game. You feel me? Look for them to keep playing good ball. Hopefully this turn their season around and they can stay in the winning column and keep winning. Saquon Barkley returned to MetLife Stadium to play the Giants with the Eagles. The Eagles won 28-3. Saquon Barkley had 176 rushing yards. Shout out to him, you feel me? He kind of got booed, but he got some love showed to him at the end. So shout out to the Eagles, man. Las Vegas beat the Rams 20-15. Washington knock off Carolina 40-7. Jaden Daniels left with a rib injury. We didn't really know too much about that, so hopefully he be cool and he'll be able to play against the Bears, because I really want to see that matchup between them two. Chiefs and the 49ers was a tough fought game between both teams, but Patrick Mahomes was able to pull it out and he ran somebody over. It's been going viral. If you ain't see it, man, go check it out. Ran a little safety over, you feel me? I guess it was his welcome to the, well, he actually responded to the video and said that was his welcome to the NFL moment. So shout out to Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have a good game, really. He only had 156 passing yards. He threw 2 picks. But shout out to that defense, man. Big shout out to the defense. Shout out to Kareem Hunt. 20 rushes, 70 yards. He had 2 touchdowns to help us win. So they don't know how, but they study figuring out the way to win. But in Georgia to come out and play the way they did, but the defense came out and they was ready. They was ready for Texas. They ended up sacking the quarterback, getting to the quarterback very early in the game. They took an early lead going into the second half. At one point, Texas ended up putting Archie Manning in the game, which I would feel like was a bad thing to do, especially at the time when they was losing. If you was gonna put him in the game, I feel like you should have started with him in the game, and that's what I said at the last episode. You feel me? But Quentin Ellis started the game, and it was a rough game for him. You feel me? But after he came back into the game, he started to play a little well. He ended up throwing 2 touchdowns, but it was a little too late. You feel me? Georgia already was up, and it was tough for them to come back. They didn't have no running game going for them. So shout out to the Bulldogs for knocking off the #1 team in the nation. Carson Beck ain't played play too better. He played. He threw 3 interceptions, and they still was able to pull it off. So shout out to the Bulldogs. Also, another game that I was telling y'all about was Miami taking on Louisville. Like I said, it wasn't gonna be no pushover game. The score ended up being 52-45, but Cam Ward, like I said all season, he just keeps showing up. He had 319 pass yards, 4 touchdowns. You feel me? Keep his team undefeated and keep them in the top 10. Number 7, Alabama lost to Tennessee. I told y'all I had a feeling that Tennessee was gonna knock off Alabama. They haven't been really playing too good at football. Jalen Monroe threw 2 picks, and I kind of feel like that was kind of the reason why they lost the game. And Tennessee just played all around good football, offense and defensively. LSU took on Arkansas. It wasn't a close game like I thought it would have been. LSU won 34-10, but Jalen Green did have a good game like I told y'all he would. The young freshman he nice, and I told y'all to keep an eye out for him. Shout out to my Hoosiers. IU walked all over Nebraska 56-7. It really wasn't even no competition. If you ain't seen them highlights, you need to go check them out. 17, Kansas State took on a rival Kansas. They ended up putting up 45. Easy game. Number 22, Illinois took on number 24, Michigan. They won 21-7, ended up knocking Michigan out of the top 25 after winning the national championship last year. Remember that. Oklahoma Falls again. That's back-to-back weeks. They took a loss to South Carolina. And Colorado win 34-7, big over Arizona. Shedeur Sanders threw 250 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks. But it didn't really do nothing for him. Travis Hunter, he played a little bit, but they ended up taking him out. He ended up leaving the game and coming back on the sideline with street clothes. But Wester stepped up for them in the receiving. He had 127 yards. Shepard with a touchdown. And Colorado 5-2 now. This the best start since 2008. And leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about this past weekend of college football and how everybody performed that I talked about, or at least some comments about who I left out. And let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Another thing I want to talk about, the last time we talked about the Liberty. They end up outlasting the Minnesota Lynx. They won overtime fashion. Breonna Stewart hit 2 clutch free throws down in the fourth quarter to send it to overtime. She had put up 13 and 15, a big game for Breonna Stewart. Also a big game for Jones. She had 17 and 6 as well. She ended up winning Finals MVP. And shout out to the New York Liberty, man. We had told y'all that once the Aces was knocked out, they was the top favorite to win it. The Lynx they did a hell of a run, you feel me? Put up a hell of a fight, you feel me? To lose in overtime fashion like that was I feel like, you know, that was the best way to go out. So shout out to women's basketball, shout out to the New York Liberty for winning the championship, and see if they gonna make a repeat for it next year. I think it's gonna be tough, but we gonna see. But make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you think about the WNBA championship and how both teams performed, or what a player did that I missed or something. Let me know. And we're gonna get into these next week games that I think that everybody should be looking forward to. If you're looking for big numbers, or you looking for some big games. So first game is gonna be number 17 Boise State taking on UNLV. I'm just looking for Ashton Genty to keep his running game going strong, and see if he's finna rush for this 2,000 yards and keep scoring touchdowns how he is. Really, that's the only reason I got them on I feel like you should be watching them if you want to see him keep going crazy. But another big game gonna be the number 4 Ohio State taking on Nebraska after they lost to Oregon. See if they gonna get back on track against a Nebraska team that just lost big to Indiana. See what they gonna do. So I feel like that's gonna be a good game, and it's gonna be a conference game on top of that. Number 13 IU taking on Washington Huskies. I feel like that's gonna be a tough game for Indiana. We're gonna see if they can keep balling right now, man. Shout out to my Hoosiers because they going crazy right now, man. Big love for them. Number 18 Ole Miss taking on Oklahoma. See if Oklahoma can bounce back against Ole Miss. For some reason, ever since I was a kid, man, every time Ole Miss be like ranked, or they like ranked high, something like that, they always lose against somebody, and it's always like Oklahoma or LSU, no matter if they ranked or not. Ole Miss just always a team that's probably upset. So if y'all gambling out there, I feel like y'all should take Oklahoma over Ole Miss, you feel me? Number 10 Oregon gonna take on number 20 Illinois, and that's a conference game. I feel like that's gonna be a real big game. Illinois playing some real good ball. Oregon also playing some real good ball, and the AP polls came out. Oregon, the number 1 team in the country right now, so that's also gonna be another reason why that's gonna be a game that everybody should be looking out for. You feel me? So number 21 Missouri take on number 15 Alabama. See if Alabama gonna bounce back against a kind of mid Missouri team, but that's playing some decent ball right now. We're gonna see, man. I don't really got too much faith in Alabama no more since Nick Saban gone. So see if Alabama can get back on track and get back in the win column. I don't believe it, but we'll see. Number 5 Texas taking on number 25 Vanderbilt. I'm looking for Texas to get right back to the winning. That's it. Really, just get right back to the winning. I feel like they kind of started a quarterback controversy right now with Archie Manning and Quentin Edwards about who gonna start this next game. So I think we might as well just gonna keep playing Quentin Edwards at this point. After that Georgia game, you threw Archie Manning in at a bad time, and I feel like you don't want to like overknock his confidence. So just keep going with Quentin Edwards. Finish the season out with him. But make sure y'all keep an eye on that game. See what Texas gonna do. Number 6 Miami taking on Florida State. Florida State ain't been no good team all year, but you know that's a Miami rivalry right there. Anything can happen. I feel like Miami should have moved up in the AP polls a little bit. They stayed at number 6, but you know how that goes. It's a politics thing. But I feel like Miami should at least be in the top 4 teams in the nation right now. The way they playing ball right now, but make sure y'all have y'all eyes on that game against Florida State. I think some crazy things might happen in that game. And another game I think y'all should be looking at is number 8 LSU gonna be taking on number 14 Texas A&M. That's gonna be a big game right there. I already know what it is. LSU and Texas A&M, Louisiana, Texas. That's gonna be a big game for sure. I think Texas A&M gonna end up beating LSU. I was wrong this weekend, but let's see if I'm gonna be right this upcoming weekend. You feel me? But leave a comment if I missed out on the game. Drop the game that I can tune into, man, or let me know if I picked the wrong team to win and you think another team gonna win. Just leave a comment. Let me know and we can talk about it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe too. Week 8 NFL games. I feel like y'all should be looking out for. There ain't really too many big games I think they really gonna be, but some of the big games I got Eagles versus Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati winning that game. Eagles ain't really been playing good ball. If Saquon Barkley can come out and have a big game like he did against the Giants, over 100 yards rushing, then the Eagles got a big chance of beating Cincinnati. Other than that, I feel like if Cincinnati can get a good start on offense and not a real slow start, it'll be over with quicker than you know it. Jamar Chase playing some good ball. He want that contract, so he been playing out. He been going out going crazy. But yeah, I got Cincinnati really beating Philly. Philly been a so-so mid team this year. They ain't really been playing well. Even if they do look good playing, they still ain't playing the best ball. So we're gonna see. The Bills take on the Seahawks. Seahawks just came off a huge win, putting up 34. The Bills just came off a good win too, also putting up 30. So I feel like that's gonna be a high-scoring game. Both teams gonna come out hot. The Seahawks ain't gonna have DK Metcalf. They said he had a sprained MCL, so he gonna miss this game. So we're gonna see what the Seahawks gonna do. Is some people gonna have to step up, and the defense gonna have to definitely step up against the Bills and Amari Cooper, because I feel like after the game he just had was just a mid game, but he scored a touchdown. Once he get going with this playbook, I feel like the Bills gonna be kind of dangerous. So make sure y'all watch that game. Chicago versus Washington. Jaden Daniels, like I said, he left the game with a rib injury early, but they were still able to pull out the win. But both rookies going up against each other, I really wanted to see Jaden Daniels go up against Caleb Williams, see who have a better game. I think Jaden Daniels will have a better game than Caleb Williams, but hopefully he'll be able to play and we'll be able to see I feel like that's going to be the game of the week. That should be the game of the week. Everybody going to be tuned in, but if you ain't tuned in, you need to tune in, because them the 1 and 2 quarterbacks that came out the draft, and everybody been wanting to see them play each other. So another big game going to be Chiefs versus Raiders. I feel like if my Chiefs play like they did against the 49ers and against a team like the Raiders, and that defense that's playing well, they're going to have their first loss of the season. So I'm looking for Pat Mahomes to clean up that act and stop throwing so many interceptions. He got a lot of interceptions this year. I know we be having like a lot of injuries at the receiver and shit, and Travis Kelce ain't playing well and all that. But all in all, if you the best quarterback, you still gotta perform. You gonna get judged when you playing good. You gonna get judged when you playing bad. So he been playing bad, especially coming off only 156 yards passing. That's bad. So I'm looking for Chiefs also to have moments to get it going, man. I'm just looking for them to get it going. But the Chiefs versus the Raiders definitely gonna be a good game. Y'all should tune into. Also, the Cowboys and the 49ers. Both teams ain't living up to expectations like I said they would. But this game right here definitely gonna see it for both teams, especially if they gonna make the playoffs or not. And I feel like a lot of people future is on stake right now as far as head coaches, and even some players gonna end up eventually getting moved around. So whoever win this game is gonna it's gonna say a lot about the rest of their season. And the last game I feel like y'all should tune into is gonna be the Vikings and the Rams. The Rams did just come off a win, and the Vikings did just come off the loss. So we're gonna see if Sam Darnold can shake back after taking a big loss to the Detroit Lions, and see if the Rams can finally get it rolling, man, and make another run for the playoffs, and see if Matthew Stafford can get the Rams to the playoffs. But make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know if I'm missing out on the game or if I just made a wrong prediction or something. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, man, because we finna jump right into it. So the first game, Washington Commanders, they beat the Carolina Panthers 40-7. Jane Daniels left early with a rib injury. We don't really know too much about that, but I hope he good, man, and I hope he be able to play next week. The Rams outlast the Las Vegas Raiders 20-15. Tough out game, but Matthew Stafford able to help his team get the victory. Eagles won in MetLife Stadium. Saquon Barkley returned. He put up 176 rushing yards, and he had a touchdown. They won 28-3. A big game for him on the ground. The Cleveland Browns lose to the Cincinnati Bengals 21-14. Shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals, but I'm not feeling how the Browns fans was cheering when Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles in that game. That I feel like that really wasn't cool. And no matter how much you dislike a person or if he ain't play the way you expected him to play, you never wish an injury on no player. That's some tough mental stuff that they have to go through, and sometimes that make or break people. So just praying for his recovery, and hope he get back to where he want to be. One of the biggest games we gonna talk about is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions. It was a big game. Both quarterbacks played well. Sam Darnold threw for a touchdown, but he also threw for an interception. Jared Goff threw for 22 for 25 for 282 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had a big day on the run game. 116 rushing yards, a touchdown. At one point it was 21-10 before halftime. Minnesota was able to cut it. At that point, when the Detroit Lions took another lead to go up 11 again, Minnesota was able to cut it. Minnesota was able to get a touchdown late in the fourth quarter to take the lead. But Jared Goff, like I said, been playing at the MVP level. He was able to get his team down the field to kick a field goal to win a game for his team. And over the last 3 weeks, he's just been making it look easy. He completing over 70% of his passes. And like I said, he looking like the front runner for MVP. So make sure y'all keep y'all eyes on him. The Buffalo Bills, Amari Cooper in his first game with the Bills, he caught a touchdown. Even though he didn't know what route it was, Keon Coleman later said he had to tell him what route to run. But like I said, look for Amari Cooper to help this Buffalo Bills team get back to where they need to be. I feel like this gonna make Josh Allen play well, and it's gonna open up bigger games for Keon Coleman, a rookie. He just had 100 yards, so look for them numbers to keep going up for him. Another big game, if y'all didn't catch it, go check out the highlights. The Packers took on the Texans. The Packers won 24-22 late in the fourth quarter. C.J. Stroud had a very tough game. Didn't even get over 100 yards. Didn't even reach 100 yards. He actually only had 86. And Jordan Love put up 3 touchdowns. He threw two picks, but he was able to get his team to win. Stephon Diggs, like the comment, like the last person comment said that Stephon Diggs wasn't a superstar receiver. He did not look like a star receiver in that game against the Packers. He had a real tough game after he started beefing with the Packers early on in pregame. Joe Mixon also had a big game, 115 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Another big game that went on was the Chiefs versus the 49ers. Pat Mahomes had a real bad game to me. He only had 156 yards passing, 2 interceptions. He had a rushing touchdown, but shout out to Kareem Hunt, 2 touchdowns, 70 receiving, 70 yards rushing, and help us win that game. Shout out to the defense because they still playing good. They came over 3 picks over Brock Purdy. One that came under in the red zone big in the late in the 4th quarter. The Jets took on the Steelers. Russell Wilson returned. He threw for 264, 2 touchdowns. George Pickens had a big game, 5 catches, over 100 yards, a touchdown. Najee Harris had over 100 yards rushing again, back-to-back weeks now for him. He's starting to turn it on, like I said. He had a touchdown late in that 4th quarter. Russell Wilson, he threw a couple of good balls. I feel like it was more better catches by George Pickens than anything. But he was able to go out there, have a clean game, get them to win. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions. He had 276 passing yards. But I can't put both picks on him. Just both plays was good plays by the defense. Breece Hall had over 100 receiving yards. Devontae Adams didn't start in his debut with the Jets. He had a few targets, a couple catches, but really didn't help them too much. It started off like it was going to be a close game early on, 15-12, but the Steelers ended up winning 37-15. So make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about this past Sunday and some of the teams that I just talked about, or let me know some games that I should have talked about. You feel me? Leave a comment so we can talk about it. But you already know, man, this was another episode of Great Conversation and Guests, man, with your boy Turbo. Remember, man, to like, comment, and subscribe, man. And remember, for y'all that got Instagram, add me on Instagram at DMG Turbo. For y'all that got Facebook, add me on Facebook at John Morant. You feel me? Make sure y'all add my cameraman TJ on Instagram at Taj_Miller. And, man, keep fucking with the show, and we going to keep dropping this shit with y'all.